In this video, I'm going to tell you the easiest and most effective habits that you can adopt today to start increasing your masculinity levels. This mostly means focusing on optimizing your testosterone levels, which ultimately dictate your masculine traits. Now, I'm not going to give you the generic, stop drinking out of plastic bottles shit, because this has a pretty minuscule effect on hindering your masculinity levels. And what I want to focus on instead are the things that actually move the needle. Okay, so let's not waste any more time with this. Okay, so tip number one, we're going to be waking up with meaning and intent. This is absolutely crucial, and by this I mean you wake up, no phone, no laptop. You're not going to be looking at some shitty screen and absorbing some content. This is not going to actually waken up your body. It's just going to wake up your eyes, if that, okay? And it's going to feed your brain with shit instantly, and it's going to start your day with just a negative vibe, which is you're going to end up carrying throughout the entire day. And other than this, we're going to be doing intermittent fasting. So this is going to allow us to stay hungry and to stay focused and keep our energy levels high. So you're not going to be eating any breakfast. You are going to be eating breakfast, but you're not going to be eating it as soon as you wake up in the morning. I mean, this is just a stupid thing to be doing, in my opinion. If you haven't tried intermittent fasting before, you've got to try it and see the difference in the way that you feel. I'm telling you now, it's an absolute game changer. So as I said, you're going to get up straight away, you're going to walk out of your room, no phone, no laptop, and you're going to perform a small task instead. It could be anything, literally just walking out of your room, going to the toilet, and literally ban yourself from your bed. You're not getting back into that bed, because if you do that, it's game over for you, and you're not going to awaken the beast that is inside of you. Okay, so you have to think of your body like an engine, right? See this image here. This is your body, and it has fuel inside it, okay? But this fuel is only useful when you switch on your body. Opening your eyes via your phone and, looking at your phone like that with wide eyes, it might start to wake your eyes up, after 20 minutes or half an hour or whatever, but it's not enough, because your body is still in a state of status or status. I don't even know how you pronounce that word, but essentially it means that your body is still in a state of not being moving. So this is not practical in terms of feeling awake and being the most optimal that you can be in the morning. And the way you start your morning is the way that you progress throughout the rest of the day. So this is crucial. Wake up with meaning and wake up with intent. Have purpose as soon as you wake up. This is absolutely crucial. Number two, pretty simple. Don't be a vegan, right? And you might laugh at this, you might take offense to this, some people will, but to be honest, I don't really care, because this is a very important step if you want to be increasing your masculinity. Think of it like this. Protein is very important, okay, particularly for improving and increasing your muscle mass. And, a lot of vegans and vegetarians will come at me here and they'll say that, well, you can get your protein from vegetarian sources, and whilst that is true, what a lot of people don't actually realise is that protein actually comes in different qualities, okay? So when you eat a meat product, when you eat a steak, let's say you eat 40 grams of protein from a steak, and then you have this vegetarian burger, which also has 40 grams of protein, okay? They advertise it on the box, don't they? And yeah, so to the people that don't actually know about this, you might think and you might assume that, you can get the same amount of protein from each of these sources. But here's the thing, protein comes in different qualities, and it all depends on its amino acid profile, okay? So the higher the amount of amino acid that's in the protein, i.e. in a steak you have a very full profile of amino acids. This means that when you eat this steak, you're going to be able to absorb all of this protein. Think of your body like a sponge. It's going to be able to take all of the nutrients from this steak, particularly the protein, and you're going to be able to use that throughout the rest of your body. Your body, the sponge, is absorbing all of those nutrients. However, when you eat a vegetarian burger or something that's vegetarian that also has 40 grams of protein, yes, it might have 40 grams of protein on the surface of it, but when you consume this product, you're not actually able to consume all of the protein because of the amino acid breakdown, which means that you're not getting 40 grams of protein from this shitty fucking little vegetarian burger. You're actually getting 10 or 20 or whatever it is because of the high and low amino acid profile. So just don't be a vegan, right? And you want to increase your muscle mass. The best way to do that is to eat meat sources with quality protein, okay? And meat substitutes, i.e. fake meat, doesn't provide this. It just doesn't, okay? As I said, your body's like a sponge. So eat the best protein that you can. That comes from eggs, that comes from salmon, comes from chicken, and red meats like steak. Tip number 3, compound exertion. Okay, so this means basically compound exercises. There's literally no better way to pump your body with testosterone and awaken that beast and turn on that engine like I was talking about. There's no better way to do that. Get yourself to the gym, perform some kind of physical activity. You're not going to be looking at your phone when you wake up for an hour. You're going to be getting out of bed, you're going to get changed, and you're going to get yourself to the gym and do some compound exercises. Now, here's something that I find pretty interesting, and it's so true. Notice how the days you go to the gym tend to be the most productive. When you start off your day in that way of being, active and really kind of inducing testosterone into your body, they are the days where you just smash everything and you're focused and you're energized. And it's literally because you have fueled yourself with this chemical, this testosterone. And compound movements are a fantastic way to do that because they focus on more than one muscle. So some examples are squats. This guy here, he's doing a squat, reverse deadlifts, RDLs or whatever. No, hang on, what? They're not called reverse deadlifts, they're called Romanian deadlifts and reverse lunges. If I was you, to be honest, I'd probably stay away from deadlifts in themselves unless you're really experienced. They can be great, but there's also a very, very high risk. The risk to reward ratio, in my opinion, just isn't worth it, so stick to some RDLs instead. Tip number 4, stop slowing yourself down, okay? This one right here. Stop slowing yourself down. So by that, essentially, I mean, don't do the things that you know full well are slowing you down. Smoking weed, smoking cigarettes, these are just not good for you. Like, it's so obvious. Don't drink alcohol. You know how you feel after you drink alcohol the next day. You feel like shit. You feel slow. You're not able to think properly. Things like fapping, this is just, it's just not it, man. And you know this. As soon as you literally empty your sack, putting it politely, it's not vulgar at all, but pretty much as soon as you empty your seed, you're no longer hungry. You're tired. You're able to just relax, and you're lethargic and you're not focused. So stay away from this. Stay away from processed sugars. Stay away from unhealthy food. Stay away from all the unhealthy fats, because obviously you can get healthy fats too, like things like avocados, extra virgin olive oil, nuts. They are fantastic sources of healthy fats, and other fats that are just terrible for you, seed oils, things like that. You don't want to be going anywhere near. And if you want to know more about that, I'm going to give you a free diet plan, which you can get from my description below. This is going to help you to increase your muscle mass, and it's just going to save you so much time. So honestly, just don't miss out on that. You also want to be avoiding siestas. Think of it like this, man. If you slept enough at night, why do you need to have a nap in the afternoon? Make it your priority to get enough hours at night. Sleep good hours, at least 8 hours a night, and this is going to stop you from getting tired in the day. The thing is, when you have a rest in the day, you are kind of destroying that energy that you've been building up throughout the day. And then it takes you maybe 2 hours or 3 hours to kind of get into the swing of things again and to get that engine running again. So avoid that as much as you can. Once you're going, once your day has started, you want to keep going all the way until the end of the day. Remain active, essentially, okay? Tip number 5, sun your ball bag, right? Basically, get outside and absorb the sun with your body, because this is going to provide you with vitamin D, and this is absolutely crucial for high testosterone levels. And I've called it sun your ball bag because you want to be getting the sun on your ball bag, right? On your balls. And if you can't do this because you might live in England like I do, you want to be taking some supplements instead. So you can literally buy vitamin D supplements from pretty much any pharmacy or online. This is going to stop you and prevent you from getting that, seasonal depression, which is very common, especially, when the weather's like this and it's freezing cold and it's raining and the skies are grey. Tip number 6, minimize cortisol levels. In other words, minimize stress, because stress increases the cortisol hormone, and this leads to a drop in testosterone levels. And it's just not it. When you're stressed, it causes so many other problems. It causes things like depression, anxiety, can even cause sickness and burnout, and you start to literally just hate your life, and that's not what it's all about. So you want to be taking the steps to prevent your cortisol levels from rising. So to do this, you can do things like deep breathing. If you feel like you're getting stressed and you're getting angry, just take 5 minutes to sit down, relax, really focus on your breath. It's like you literally just focus on that shit, man. It's like a form of meditation, right? You don't have to sit there with your hands out like this, or like this geezer right here. You don't have to do that if you don't want to, But essentially, deep breathing is going to allow you to feel present again and really just focus on what's important, Another good way to do this and to lower your stress levels is to take cold showers, because this is, once again, it's going to bring you right out into the present moment, which is what you want. You can journal as well. That means you're going to write down all of your thoughts onto a piece of paper and literally just go ham with it. You don't have to actually structure your sentences like you're writing a book or something. In fact, the words you write down don't even need to make sense. You can just spam whatever your mind is thinking onto this piece of paper, and you'll be surprised at what this exercise can do to actually make you feel less stressed. And then you can do some yoga, socialize with others, when you're with your mates or whatever, you always come back feeling so much better. Tip number 7. Compete and embrace challenge. So you want to be welcoming competition. Now, it's very easy for people to say, you don't need competition, just compete with yourself. And it sounds really cute, it really does, but for men, this just doesn't work, okay? We're not wired this way. We need competition. Men thrive on competition. That's when we feel our best. That's what pushes us to make ourselves better. When we just sit there and say, we're just going to compete with ourselves, it just doesn't really work. And when you've got someone in front of you that wants to take your head off, particularly if you're going to be fighting or boxing or any kind of martial art, really, you have no choice, right? You have no choice but to increase your masculinity levels and be focused and energized, because if you don't, well, you're going to get knocked out or potentially even worse. So my suggestion is to, if you're not already, get yourself into a martial art gym. This is going to bring out a different version of you that you probably don't even know exists. So just anything like this is great. Learn any new skill, get yourself out of your comfort zone. You can learn a new language, you can learn how to generate high income. Essentially, you want to be sharpening the axe. And for tip number 8, my friend, get to bed early. And this is what I was talking about earlier on. Get to bed early and sleep for a minimum of 8 hours. You should have done so much during the day that you should be crawling back into bed. That is the level of exertion that we want to be achieving as men. This is what's going to really increase our masculinity and make us feel fulfilled, because ultimately that's one of the best feelings a man can feel, is fulfillment. It's not necessarily happiness, it's not necessarily peace, it's not necessarily anything else, it's fulfillment. When a man really achieves his potential and his purpose, that is when a man feels fulfilled, and that's what gives him confidence, because when he does the things that he set out for himself to do on a daily basis and consistently, that's going to provide him with so much confidence, so much fulfillment. Don't forget to get the diet plan from the description below, which I'm giving to you for free. Believe you can, and you're more than halfway there.